Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing today? You know, right now, do me a favor. As you're starting to watch this vlog, I want you to type in the comments the first word that comes to mind. Me, it's gonna be incredible. And by incredible, I mean, well, incredible. Yeah, I don't know what today is. Well, I do kind of know what today is gonna bring. I'm gonna change things up a little bit for you guys today. And what I mean by changing it up is that, you know, you guys always see me here at the shop, and I am gonna be traveling next week, right after Christmas. I really haven't given you guys the official tour of the place. I mean, you see little bits and pieces, and so I figured today, I'm just gonna show you the shop. I'm gonna show you what it is, the mechanism that it all works. Is that okay with you guys? Let's get started with the basement. This is, I always call it the Python Dungeon, because this is like boas and pythons and on, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, you guys see RJ's down here, and my big girls, Lucy and Daisy and Satan are down here. But I really probably haven't shown you everything. So, you know, I'm gonna try to give you the proper tour if you know what I'm talking about. So anyways, these are cages here, obviously. And these are where I keep my rainbow boas. So we have stuff like the Brazilian rainbow boas, and we keep these damp, moist boxes in them. And again, you know, these are, you know, there's a couple different species of well, there's several species of rainbows, but I just work with the Brazilians and the Colombians. Now, the Colombians are a little less interesting looking. They're just a little bit more drab than the Brazilians, you know. So they're still very beautiful. And these guys are live bears, and as a matter of fact, really quick, I'm just going to show you. There's actually, we work with a white one too, a white rainbow boa, which is really beautiful, and that's this guy here. Look at that. Look at that guy right there, huh? That thing is gorgeous. And again, that's a rainbow boa, but it's what they would call a leucistic rainbow boa. And anyways, back over to here, because I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, because if you guys follow me at all, I ramble and I start going and I get off a track, and that's not going to be good for you. Anyways, rainbow boas on this side. Over here we have stuff like some of the carpet pythons that we work with, like that beautiful snake right there. And that's a Brettles jaguar. We have, you know, jungle carpets. We have, you know, jag carpets. You know, these are the jag carpets here. Just a whole bunch of stuff. You know, albinos, head albinos. Here's another really beautiful Brettles jag right here. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. So these are like some of the carpets that are being raised up. We have stuff like, this is another rainbow boa, but this is a hypo Brazilian rainbow boa. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff. There's like, you know, sand boas are here. These are, you know, the Indian smooth scale sand boas. And then it even gets into, over here, we get into, you know, our male ball pythons. So we basically are, you know, we keep our males and females separate during the off season. So that's an Enchi banana ball python right there. And all the males are on this side right here. Again, we got rainbow boas over here, and then eventually it cycles into some of our other stuff like our boa constrictors. You know, there's you know, this guy here, which is our arabesque sunglow boa, and we've got a couple boas, you know, and a lot of people ask me, show more boas. Well, the truth is I don't have a lot of boas, but the handful I have are kept right over here. This is also the racks that we keep our cribos, like my girl Maya that I show you guys all the time. Look at that cute little face right there. She's so pretty. Anyways, Maya, and all the Cribo stuff. And then, you know, the other day I showed you guys the puffing snake. This is the puffing snake right there. Look at that guy. He just looks angry, doesn't he? And we even have, like, you know, Woma pythons. So these are our Woma pythons right here. Really beautiful snakes from Australia. And speaking of another Australian snake, I showed you the carpet pythons, but these are the jungle carpet pythons right here, which are really, really beautiful. And then we get into like the mangrove snakes that I've showed you guys. Oh, look at that perfect shed. Whew, that thing is beautiful. Oh, it's stuck on the rock and it's gonna rip. It's so hard to get these things off, but still a pretty good shed. I'll put that aside and send it to one of you guys. But anyways, here's the snake itself. Look at that gorgeous snake right there. That is a mangrove snake, and I've showed you guys this before. But anyways, that's, you know, over here. And then ultimately, as these racks go on, and again, we still have the ball pythons on this side. Over here, we get into our blue-tongued skinks, like this beautiful sunrise blue-tongue. This is a northern blue-tongued skink that's from Australia, and we just have all kinds of them. We have, you know, these are the eastern eye-banded skinks, which is just another, you know, subspecies of blue-tongued skink, and this whole rack here is just nothing but blue-tongued skinks, you know, centralians and different types of things like that. Of course, you guys know the whole gig with RJ and my big girls over here, so we won't bore you with that whole thing. Anyways, then we have over here, this whole aisle here is adult ball pythons. So these are all my female ball pythons, and you know, just all kinds of, you know, odds and ends, to be honest with you, mutations, and I've been really, you know, into ball pythons for, you know, 20 years or so. So again, the list just goes on and on with that stuff. And I mean, you know, look at this guy. This thing is beautiful here. This is a cinnamon killer spinner, which is, you know, just a ton of different. It's, you know, it's got lesser, it's got spider, it's got pinstripe, it's got, where are you at? There you at. Look at how pretty she is. Anyways, it's got a ton of stuff in it, and we work with all kinds of mutations of ball pythons. Of course, you know, listen, ball pythons are great animals. I mean, they're kind of the perfect animal. They come in a gazillion color phases. They're easy to work with. They're great starter pets. You know, I get tons of people asking me in the comments, what's a great starter snake? Ball pythons are great. Corn snakes are great for starters. So these are all ball pythons, and we're breeding them, and it's gonna, whatever, it's gonna be a lot. So anyways, and then when we get over to here, you know, we're still in the ball pythons. We showed you the rainbow boas, and then we get into some of the spotted pythons. You know, these are also Australian animals, and these are, you know, just a little tiny python. I mean, that's as big as they get, you know. So we have spotted pythons, and we have savu pythons here. These are little savu pythons from Indonesia. Whoa, where are you going, buddy? Look at how cool he is, huh? I mean, oh, that's a beautiful snake. And these guys aren't biters or anything like that, but he was acting a little bit weird. I almost thought I was gonna get tagged in the face by that bugger. So anyways, you know, savu pythons, and we even have another species, a small species from Australia down here, that is called a children's python. So these guys are the children's pythons, which are pretty similar to the spotted pythons, but just a little bit different color. So anyways, that's that side. And then when we get over to here, these are just our, you know, our sand boas. So we have stuff like this. Look at that gorgeous Indian sand boa. And we have rough scale sand boas. I can show you guys up here. That's a rough scale sand boa. So we keep our sand boas in these racks. And then ultimately everything else down here and down here on both of these sides are just ball pythons. They're just, you know, baby ball pythons, I'm sorry. But there's just some really beautiful things. I mean, you know, here's a sterling orange dream, and I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, they're all just so gorgeous, you know. Here's a super enchy spinner. I mean, take a look at that snake right there. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And you know, you could just go on forever with these guys. I mean, there's, you know, white snakes like ivory ball pythons here, just, you know, pretty much solid white. And then you know, I mean, I could go on forever, guys. This is a snake I love to death. Take a look at that. That is actually, ooh, it's about to bite me too. Oh, I could just tell it's tensing up. Ah! Ow! Did you see that? I could just tell it was ready to bite me. Here it goes again. Anyways, this is a lesser spider GHI ball python. So it's what they would call a lesser B GHI. That's basically the basement. Whoa. Okay, so guys, the main room upstairs. Let's go ahead and take, now let me preference someone really quick, or something really quick. It's the worst probably time to give you a tour because we are tearing everything down for hibernation. So we've got tubs everywhere. Jessica over here is making a complete disaster of the entire place. You can see these are all going into hibernation. Every single one of these cages, she's done an amazing job of getting them all ready for hibernation. So it's a pigsty in here right now, just because we're tearing stuff down. Anyways, let me get started. These are what we call shoebox racks, and these have stuff in them like I've showed you guys before, the green tree pythons. Here's another one over here, that beauty. Look at that beautiful snake right there. I mean, that thing is just so pretty. And then we keep, you know, so we keep, in the shoebox's office, we're keeping baby snakes, you know, from anywhere from, you know, we have, you know, aneurystic Brooks king snakes, you know, different, you know, scaleless Texas rat snakes. I mean, here's like a scaleless Texas rat snake here, really beautiful animal. I mean, you can see that, all the way to stuff like, you know, like extreme Hondurans, like, you know, look at that thing right there. It's really gorgeous. I mean, so anyways, baby snakes over here, adult snakes over here. So these are all the adult colubrids that are literally going to go to sleep anytime as soon as I can get away. And again, you know, so we have, this is one of our sides of our colubrid aisle. This aisle is another colubrid aisle, and when I say you know, some people have asked me in the comments, what do you mean by colubrid snakes? Colubrid snakes are, you know, like corn snakes, king snakes, milk snakes, rat snakes, that variety of snakes. So they're really beautiful, and these are all, like a lot of these are Pueblo milk snakes here. And again, you know, milk snakes are just really beautiful. They, you know, have that cool mimic thing where they mimic coral snakes, a venomous snake. Again, you know, all this stuff, and then of course there's, you know, a bunch of corn snakes in here, like these guys right here. This is basically, you know, a small adult corn snake, certainly ready to breed. And you know, so regardless, you know, here we've got, you know, milk snakes and corn snakes, and pretty much all corn snakes down here. And then this aisle here is just some more snakes that are coming up, you know, future snake breeders that'll probably breed this next year, including some, I mean, take a look at this cute little guy right here. These hognose snakes. I mean, hognose snakes, I think, are some of the cutest snakes in the planet. Look at that little, look at that little pug nose, and so pretty. Regardless, you know, that's, you know, the colubrid area, and of course these are my leopard geckos right here. All down here are our breeder leopard geckos, and we keep 4 females in a cage. And then, you know, during the breeding season, we put a male in and, you know, just kind of rotate him through. Believe it or not, you know, a little bit of a thing about leopard geckos. One male can easily breed between 25 and 30 females. That's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, but anyways, you know, all these are leopard geckos down here, all around over here, and these guys are just like our little, like, corn snake racks and stuff like that. And see, they just keep them right in there. There's a little cute little bugger right there. That's a snow corn snake. And you can see Lori over here is feeding all the snakes in these racks. And these are just like, you know, little, so we keep little baby snakes in these until they get a little bit bigger. And then once they get a little bit of size, we move them into these racks here, like this guy here, you know. And again, just a little bit bigger. This happens to be, look at how cute that is. That's a little baby corn snake. And this is what they would call an ultramel ghost corn snake. So it's just a color mutation. And again, you know, all these snakes are the same thing. You know, here's a little blood red corn snake, and you know, we got all kinds of stuff. Here's Tessera corns right here, and it just goes down the list. And you know, here's like albino milk snakes, and this whole aisle here is all just baby snakes. And again, we have some other ones on the other side. And then you get down here, we even have like some Colombian rainbow boas, and you know, even little granite spotted pythons. Look at that little guy right there, huh? How cool is that? So basically, you know, that's the, and then of course we have, these are the baby leopard geckos here. You know, all these guys on this rack is all just little baby leopard geckos that stay in here. And again, you know, Jessica is actually one of the reasons why it's such a disaster in here, is that we're moving all of these go into hibernation. This whole row here goes into hibernation, and then what Jessica's doing is taking the animals from over here that are a little bit bigger, and they're moving into the slots where these guys are right here, because when these come out of hibernation, they're actually going to go into groups. You know, they'll go into, right now there's just one per, you can see there's just one gecko per right here, right? But when they come out of hibernation, they'll go into groups of 4 females. They won't go back into shoebox racks. They'll go into the breeder groups, so on and so forth. So anyways, Jessica is moving the babies up into the bigger tub so that they have more room. Gives you an idea. So, you know, basically, more or less, that's the gist of the animal part. I'll take you up front and kind of show you what the up front is like here at the building. So you guys see this, you know, all the time, you know, basically as we're messing around, or we're, you know, whatever the case is. This is just our commons area, you know, our little sitting area for lunch and all that other stuff. And I have, you know, some of this cool artwork, like here, over here, and even over here. And this is actually from this is from an artist named Tel Hicks. He's over in the UK, really amazing artist. Does a lot of wildlife, but he does a lot of other things. Anyways, guy's great. So I love having his art kind of hanging around up here. My office is a disaster, guys. You guys know that I talk about it all the time. I'll give you a little bit of a tour anyways. You know, this is my, you know, kind of, and I have to add, I have a lot of signed stuff from all kinds of different people. I need to kind of add that to the, but I just haven't had a chance to. But here's just some of the things. You know, I've got some signed Korn stuff. My buddy Kerry King from the band Slayer. You know, that's a signed T-shirt and some passes that I have from him. Signed from Josh Gates from the Travel Channel. Amy Bruni from Ghost Hunters, and now Kindred Spirits. My buddy Jack Hanna, who's a good friend of mine, he's there. Of course, this is my world map and a lot of pins of where I've been. You know, we've talked about the flag before. That means a whole lot to me. Of course, my first YouTube silver play button. I have number 2 coming soon. Just, you know, a commemoration of some of my Australia adventures. I've been to Australia, I think, 9 times, so I've had a lot of adventure there. This is actually, you know, a cool fan that someone over in China made me, which I thought was really cool. Here's a signed Korn skateboard, you know, just some various signed pucks and stuff like that, including my buddy Brent Burns that is now from San Jose, but this is when he was with Minnesota, and he's a beast, you know. Here's a good friend of mine, Brian, you know, out in California. His picture is absolutely gorgeous, and then that was actually a hand-done art that someone had made me when I was out in California, so it's pretty cool. But I did want to show you one thing. You know those shots when you see me talking and you see, it's kind of like this shot right here? Well, this is actually where I have the camera, and of course I have the light to just make me look a little bit better. So that's a setup when I have a camera facing this way. So that's that. Here's Lori's office. That's, you know, just full of paperwork, you know. Boom. It's also got a lot of camera gear in here, some of my camera stuff. I have a lot of camera gear, guys. I'm a total camera geek. And then finally we have, you know, the office here with, of course, Steph, Nico, and Trevorlicious over there, and that's, you know, where these guys, you know, obviously Steph's always answering the phones and doing all that stuff. Nico is always editing. Trevor, we're really not sure what he does, but he's over there somehow. Regardless, guys, that's basically the tour of my place. I hope you guys get a better idea of what it's like to be here at BHB in my life. We're going to do a lot of traveling in 2017, so we'll be here a bit, but also we'll be traveling all over the place. I hope you guys will come along for the adventure. I appreciate you guys so much. You just have no idea. Regardless, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of my life. I hope you'll continue to do that. I hope you have an amazing day. Be kind to somebody, and I'll see you tomorrow.